This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
Breaking news to begin this midday. The winningest coach in NFL history has died. Don Shula only had 2 losing seasons in the 34 years as head coach. His coaching career started with the Baltimore Colts, but Shula made his name in Miami, where he took the Dolphins to 5 Super Bowls. Shula won the big game twice, most notably after the 1972 Dolphins became the first team to complete a perfect season with a Super Bowl victory. The Dolphins say that Shula died at his home this morning. He was 90 years old.
Without mass, without the common concern and courtesy about the well-being of others, is both dangerous and reckless.
The stay-at-home order in Marion County is still in effect, but young people flouting that order may have helped lead to the shooting death of a teen. Now the city makes another push to get everyone to stay home and stay safe. While Indiana's stay-at-home order is gradually being modified, the order for here in Marion County to restrict non-essential travel and the ban on public gatherings still in effect. But that didn't stop a group of young people from getting together late Saturday night and early Sunday morning on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Word about that gathering near 38th and Arlington spread quickly on social media, and it appeared to draw hundreds of people to a parking lot of a department store. Extra police officers have been patrolling the area since then, and today 2 members of the City County Council urged everyone to stay home just a little bit longer so that COVID-19 cases don't spike again.
The large gathering that we witnessed this past weekend, where we stand right now, we want to ask you to avoid such gatherings.
Police say it was near that large gathering where 16-year-old Nia Cope was shot and killed early Sunday morning. Officers say the girl was inside a vehicle with her family when she was hit by a stray bullet. Cope was rushed to the hospital in critical condition but later died from her injuries. Police are still looking for suspects and are asking anyone with any information to please come forward. Police are also still looking for a suspect after a shooting victim on the northwest side died from his injuries. The gunfire happened around 7:30 last night at the Abington Apartments near 52nd Street at Georgetown Road. 47-year-old Larry Cosby was taken to the hospital in critical condition but died hours later. Police have not released a possible motive for that shooting. This midday, investigators are still looking for 2 women who escaped from custody in Henry County. The sheriff's office there says Paige Thomas and Felicia Davis were inside the Henry County Transition Center awaiting transport to the jail when they ran out of the building following a disturbance. If you know where these women might be, you should call the Henry County Dispatch Center at the number on your screen. That number is 765-529-4901. It is time for a check of our forecast Monday here this midday, and Todd Clausen is joining me from home. Todd, today is a pretty nice day, but it's kind of the middle of spring. We have that roller coaster ride, and I know our temperatures are taking a little bit of a tumble this week.
Yeah, you really need to soak in today. I know it's not quite as warm as it was over the course of the weekend, but when we look forward in this forecast, Lauren, that is when we start to get into some weather I don't think most people are going to like here at the beginning of May. Temperatures outside right now in the 50s and 60s, up to 62 degrees in Indianapolis right now. Look at Bloomington, you're up to 65 already. A little cooler to the north with temperatures around 56 in Peru as well as the Tipton area. Here is a view across the campus of IU down there in Monroe County, and you can see some high thin clouds, and that is just about it as far as the cloud cover goes. But the trend here throughout the day today will be for the clouds to increase across the area. With that said, we will remain dry. We are not expecting any rain in the forecast for the day today. That rain that you do see near Kansas City, though, that will spread into the area late tonight and be more of an issue for us during the day tomorrow. So today is a great opportunity to mow the lawn if you didn't do it over the weekend, to get in a walk, a jog, a bike ride with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. The clouds increase, but again, we are dry till at least about 10 p.m. That's when a spot shower could enter the forecast. Tomorrow it is going to be a wet day. It's going to be very chilly as well. We'll talk more about that coming up for you, Lauren, in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, new this midday, the state is now reporting more than 20,000 cases of COVID-19 since this outbreak began. Here are the numbers released just moments ago by the state health department. 19 more deaths have have been reported since Sunday, bringing the total to more than 1,150. The number of positive tests increased by 583 over the past 24 hours as well. Well, 5 major shopping centers are back in business. They opened just over an hour ago, and this was the scene outside of the Greenwood Park Mall as people there waited for those doors to open. Now, they do have to comply with the new safety requirements when they enter the mall in order to keep themselves, shoppers, and the workers there safe. Our Rafael Sanchez has an inside look at what you can expect.
If you walk with it, you will see when you walk in, there will be an in and out arrow for you to follow as you walk into the mall. They're expecting to pass out gloves and masks if you don't have one. Also, you'll have to follow the signs on the floor, which will be directing traffic inside, as the mall does do crowd control. This is all about making sure you are safe, making sure you are healthy. One of the biggest differences you'll notice among many places inside the mall will be the food court. As a frequent shopper to this mall, I recall that this area of the food court was jam-packed with tables and seats everywhere. But let me just give you a quick tour as I walk around, trying to stay away from other media. You can see that the tables and the chairs are highly separated. Those of you who've shopped here before know how close those tables used to be before the pandemic. But as you can see now, the tables are fully just spread apart. No one will be sitting close to each other for the near future. Working for you in Greenwood, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
Rafael, a normal day, it's hard to even find a seat at any of those tables. Thank you for that update. Now, besides Greenwood Park Mall, the other Simon malls which reopened today include Hamilton Town Center up in Noblesville, Indiana Premium Outlet in Edinburgh, Tippecanoe Mall in Lafayette, and University Park that's up in South Bend. They will operate Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m., Sundays from noon to 6 p.m. Now, as we found out that in Indiana, it's getting more difficult to get people to stick with social distancing recommendations. Next, how that's becoming a bigger problem all across the country. Todd.
And Lauren, today's one of those days where you can get outside and with that social distancing and enjoy the weather. We have the sunshine, we have seasonable temperatures. That all changes going forward in this forecast. We'll talk all about it coming up when the news at noon continues right here on RTV6.
Listen to your heart. New ABC Tonight.
Welcome back. As is the case in Indiana, numerous states are starting to slowly try and get back to normal after battling the COVID-19 outbreak. But as those restrictions ease and the weather gets warmer, ABC's Trevor Ault tells us that social distancing recommendations are being put to the test.
With the United States entering another week in the midst of a pandemic, warming weather and ongoing orders to stay home appear to have created a sense of restlessness. This park ranger in Texas trying to break up a crowd at Lake Austin shoved into the water. Texas, while starting to reopen businesses, has now seen 4 straight days of more than 1,000 new cases. In New York City, where parks were packed all weekend, the NYPD issuing around 100 summonses to people who violated guidelines to stay 6 feet apart.
Protecting each other reduces the spread of the disease, gets us one step closer to normal.
And with half the country set to ease restrictions this week, we're already hearing from some Americans who ventured into the public only to find out they had contracted the virus. 28-year-old Ashley Beck says she previously had symptoms and believed she was infected with COVID-19 in mid-March, but couldn't get a test. After self-isolating, she returned to normal activity like grocery shopping, only to test positive for the virus just this Saturday.
I think initially your heart just sinks. You wonder how many people you exposed to an illness that you had no idea you had.
And even without a second wave of the virus, President Trump now acknowledging his recent estimates on the American death toll from COVID-19 have been too low.
I used to say 65,000, and now I'm saying 80 or 90, and it goes up, and it goes up rapidly. But it's still going to be, no matter how you look at it, at the very lower end of the plane if we did the shutdown.
Today, 7 more states are starting to let some of their businesses reopen, and by the end of the week, more than 2/3 of the United States will have taken that first step. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Well, if you're still waiting for your stimulus check, you want to be careful. Next, how some people are getting fooled by scammers who are falsely claiming that money is linked to something else you have to do for the government. Let's take a look outside right now. Our camera downtown view to the north. We'll get Todd's full forecast looking ahead to yet another work week. A lot of you working from home. That's coming up right here in the news at noon when we come back from this break. Welcome back. There's a lot of ways that criminals are trying to get your stimulus payment from the federal government if you haven't received yours just yet. So Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau tells us one way people are getting fooled has to do with another important function of the federal government.
The Census Bureau is also doing the census at this time. So what is happening is there are emails, texts, Facebook, and other social media messages that are going to consumers saying, hey, in order for you to qualify to receive your stimulus check, you've got to complete the U.S. Census. And then there's some sort of a link to go to. Well, a couple of things here. Number one, the census and the stimulus checks, they're not related. They're not connected at all. You do not have to complete the census in order to get your stimulus check. That's something that the scammers just made up. And number two, two things are going to happen to you if you click on that link. One, it might unload some malware down into your computer and compromise your computer, or it may take you to a site. It looks very official. It looks like it's a U.S. Census Bureau site, and it's going to ask you some very personal questions. In particular, it's going to try to get your Social Security number. That's what they're after. They're after to get your Social Security number so they can go in and do all sorts of nefarious things with your personal account and security and steal things from you. So just remember, number one, those two are not related, your stimulus check and the U.S. Census Bureau, and your need to complete that. Number two, that is not how the government is going to communicate with you. They don't send out emails and texts and go through social media for something like this. You know, if you need to do something with the government, you're going to get some sort of very official letter. So don't fall for that. Just if you get something like that, just ignore it. Don't answer it. Don't click on anything.
All right, Tim Maniscalco there with the Better Business Bureau. Some great advice. Taking a turn right now to our forecast. We're starting off a new work week, and Todd Clausen is joining me from home right now, saying today's the day you're really going to want to get out there, Todd.
Yeah, you know, today and Thursday is another option. The rest of the week, Lauren, we're going to be featuring cooler temperatures and some showers. This month or this week is definitely taking on more of a March-like feel after we started the weekend off with those summer-like temperatures. I mentioned the shower chances, the March feel, and frost will be possible, believe it or not, by the time we get to a Mother's Day weekend. So outside right now, as you look from downtown to the north, you do notice the high, thin clouds starting to make their way into the area. This is going to be the trend now throughout the remainder of the day. Gone are those bright blue skies for most of us. It's going to be more filtered sunshine throughout the remainder of the day, but we will remain dry, and temperatures already in the 60s from Bloomington to Greenwood to Indy. A little cooler to the north at 59 in Kokomo, and highs today will range anywhere from about 64 degrees to 70 degrees in southern locations. So it's a good seasonable day for us. The wind's not much of an issue, and make sure you get out there and take advantage and enjoy. You notice here are those high thin clouds I mentioned coming into the metro area and then up towards the Lafayette area. The rest of central Indiana over here is still dealing with mainly clear skies, but things will change to this evening in a big time way. Some strong to severe storms off to the west, and those will eventually start to make their way into the area. And probably not severe, but the rain will make its way into the area late tonight, and then we'll deal with it throughout a good chunk of the day tomorrow. So let me walk you through that time frame using TrueCast. This is still the evening into the overnight hours. As you see, this is 12:30 tomorrow morning. And then as we continue towards daybreak and sunrise, which is around 6:45 rather tomorrow morning. Sunset is at 8:45. I got those swapped for you. We'll start to see the rain come in, and there'll be some pockets of moderate rainfall, but also look to the north. Don't be shocked in northern locations if a few snowflakes mix in with the intenser bands of snow. That's certainly going to be a possibility. No accumulation, but kind of a shock to the system that we're talking about snow here the first week of May. These showers will continue all the way into Tuesday morning before they finally start to move out. So we talked about the rain. What I didn't mention until now is the temperatures. Look at this. We're only going to be in the 40s throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to be kind of miserable out there between the rain, the breeze that'll kick up, in those very, very chilly temperatures. So as we work our way throughout the course of the day tomorrow, we're potentially looking at a good soaking, 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Showers linger into Wednesday morning. Thursday's decent, below normal, a little cooler than today, but about the same as far as sunshine goes. And then there are those chilly temperatures over Mother's Day weekend, Lauren. Low temperatures down near freezing, high temperatures both days only in the mid-50s. And we will be dealing with the small potential, at least, of a few spotty showers on Mother's Day itself. But the bigger issue is definitely going to be those temperatures.
Oh, all right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, as Indiana begins to rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic, some businesses are going to be playing catch up soon. One of those is the wedding industry, as a lot of couples had to put off their big day. Our Troy Washington has a story of one couple and how they're staying positive and waiting patiently.
On what would have been the day this couple would have said their I do's and started their forever journey, these two lovebirds turned Saturday, April 25th, into a quarantine photo shoot complete with a new save the date.
We've been engaged for almost a year and a half, and we've just been spending this time planning and getting everything together. We were ready, and then COVID-19 happened.
The pandemic forced Brandon Duckworth and Renee Fleener to redo everything, but for them, doing it right means the most when it comes to their whirlwind romance.
They started saying, well, do you think you can bump your list down to under 50? And then everything started closing. To even get the rings, the Hellsberg Diamond was closed, and the tech shop.
100, and they wanted us to reduce it down to 50, and then the number kept getting smaller and smaller. So we knew we probably just needed to go ahead and reschedule because it was kind of impossible.
Since the wedding industry is a complex one, this couple says there were many reasons their original date just wouldn't work anymore once restrictions went into place. Jewelry stores are closed, so they couldn't get the rings. They also had to book a new DJ, and they had to find another photographer.
Actually decided to postpone. It was about a month out, so we only had a month left, and we had to go ahead and reschedule.
Yeah, it was a good thing we did because all the dates were getting filled up really quick too.
Yeah, we had very slim pickings on dates for sure. So September's a really popular month as it is. So they were already booked up, and then other couples were rescheduling too. So it almost put us all the way to spring 2021.
These two say they are just making the most of the hand they've been dealt and just having a little fun with the planning process this go around. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And we wish them the very best, Troy. Thank you. Now, if you're a wedding vendor, you can head on over to the IndyChannel.com. That's where you can find some information that could help your business rebound from this pandemic. Still ahead here on the news at noon, they can't have a real Hollywood fight right now. So some stars of the big screen had their battle another way. We'll take a look, and one more look at your forecast as well. That's all coming up right here on RTV6. Stick around.
Keller and Keller.
Oh, I'm so bored. I just want to play with my friends. Wait a minute. I can't play with my friends.
Well, it all started when actress and stuntwoman Zoe Bell kicked Lucy Lawless. Then Lucy Lawless slammed stuntwoman Tara Mackin. Mackin then skate kicked Drew Barrymore, and then the fight was on. More than 36 actresses and stuntwomen engaged in this massive virtual brawl. Hamilton Tony winner Renee Goldsberry delivered a big kick to Rosie Perez. Oscar winner Halle Berry got knocked into the pool, and Margot Robbie picked up her Harley Quinn bat for the battle. Pretty funny and pretty creative. I like seeing all the creativity, Todd, that this pandemic is creating. That's maybe the one positive thing coming out of this.
You know, and don't mess with Xena, Princess Warrior. I mean, I'm just telling you there. All right, outside right now, clouds will be on the increase this afternoon, but dry, 66, scattered showers, and really chilly tomorrow, and then it remains chilly for much of this week. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Come back here, join us for the news at 5, and have a great Monday.